Okay. That should be good. It should be good now. Gotta update. Hello. Partial Dave. Yeah. Haha. 9/11. That's the joke. Hey. Everything should be good now. Everything should be good. Let me see how much of a delay there is. Okay, still, okay. Well, this time I'd selected ultra low latency. And at least from what I can see, yeah, it is still pretty beaten, but it's a lot better than it was. Anyway, look out on this beautiful landscape. Totally not something that would be deemed unacceptable in a Pokemon game. That's the thing. I am loving this game. This game is fantastic. But there are a handful of areas where it looks and feels like a PS3. Like a PS3 game that was made with PS5, PS4 quality character. But still a PS3 stuff. And it's probably just a result of the engine. Reusing the P5 engine is a PS3 engine. Hello, Sonic fan. It is a little stiff, but I'm really getting the hang of things and I'm enjoying it a lot. But I can see what you mean by it being kind of stiff. No. Eloquent. I can't really do anything with eloquence right now. I don't have a book that I can read, and no one really wants to talk eloquent. So.
All right then.
Hello, Bean. How are you doing? How is everyone doing? Happy New Year, by the way. I'm not going to be streaming, like, all day or anything. This is just, I'm about to get to the date, and I had been told that some shit happens. So, I thought, this would be fun to stream. Why not? I was playing this anyway. Hello, Seth. Hello. My wisdom is what I have at the highest. Probably go. Finish. I have. So this does courage. This does tolerance. This does imagination. This did eloquence. This, I think, did tolerance. I don't. Screw it. I'm gonna just do tolerance. The smooth. Hey, by the way, good. Travelogue offers an introduction to cultures, customs outside of Virgo Island. Told Mustari authors for section detailing the small, cute animals that outside the island is particularly. UFO must have. But it goes on to depict some methods mainly under today's animal. Though the authors and you shocked through them. Living in a totally foreign culture sounds so difficult, and yet this author and Yufa are jumping right into it. Seeing their willingness to embrace other cultures and values increases.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna run the Skyrunner into the Grand Cathedral. That's what's gonna happen. That's Luis's big plan. Okay, now we finished. Now I finished. One thing I'll say about this game.
Nura speaking.
It's it's actually kind of not fast paced. Not the right word. The pacing as a whole is just so much better, both from a gameplay standpoint, a story standpoint, everything. But it's the sort of thing where it's like, this game is massive. I do so much, but at the same time, it feels like not a ton has really happened. And it's leaving me kind of like bummed out that I'm only like what? I'm over halfway done. It's leaving me bummed out. It's like, oh man, I actually really wish there were. There's just more story.
The Gauntlet Runner sets
Of course, there is more story, but it's like I can kind of figure out how much is.
During the Annex War, this land was a fierce battleground. Many soldiers
Exactly,
unable
AJ.
to return to their loved ones found their final rest here. But few honor the dead. Their spirits take no solace. Their tragic remains are desecrated by wild dogs, leaving their
The battle
bones
system is
exposed
very,
to the
very
elements.
similar. SMT. Because it is press turn. It's quite literally just press turn. But all of the setup is
Look at it.
completely different. Because the setup is it's more akin to a job system in, say, a Final Fantasy game or Dragon Quest or something like that. It's a completely different job system than Personas. A lot of people say archetypes are Personas, and like narratively, they very much are. Though with some Atma Avatar influence, you know, from Digital Devil Saga. But narratively, while they all Personas with some Atma Avatars, it's really just a job system. It's a job system. And it works really well. It's not the best job system I've ever seen in a JRPG, but it's a good job system. I still think Bravely Default might be my favorite job system. Exactly. No, it's very akin to DS archetypes, I mean. But it's good. It's really good. This game in so many ways really is just like everyone's focusing on like, oh, it's just Persona 6. It's Persona. It's a new Persona game. And then it's like if you play it and you know Atlus's back catalog, oh my god, this is the Atlas game. It draws on, like, everything Atlas has ever done. It's so good. Oh my god, Etrian Odyssey. For those who know, Etrian Odyssey gets the best treatment out of any other Atlas game in this game so far. Like, holy shit, Etrian Odyssey gets the red carpet, the royal treatment. It's incredible. It's incredible. And it was the sort of thing where, like, in the moment, I was a little bummed out because I had some issues with where they were trying to go with the story and, like, little things. But then once I realized what was happening, I was like, oh, those issues don't matter anymore. I mean, they do, but they don't. They have been overwritten by, holy shit, Etrian Odyssey. Fucking rad. I don't even want to say what it is for people who haven't played it, who don't know, because it's awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad I played Etrian Odyssey 1 last year. Soon to be a year and a half ago. Whoa, these bridges are huge. There's an area defined by numerous valleys. The bridges connect the flatlands. That makes sense, but if bridges were to fall in battle, those people would end up isolated. Yes, all very fascinating, but have you looked at what's directly in front of you? Those are the bones of people, okay? They are the remains of those who fell during the Annex War. The site of a fierce battle, and the dead were left denied the dignity of proper burial. I feel like if you hadn't played Etrian Odyssey 1, and you didn't even really didn't realize it was at Odyssey, you would probably think, you would come away with, like, a very different perspective on what was happening. And I'm not saying it's still, like, I'm not saying it still can't go in a specific direction. It's because I'm sure that's still very much, but it might seem like what it's doing could be like a bigger, I don't know, I still need to play more but it's the sort of thing where I get this feeling that, like, having played Etrian Odyssey and realizing what it is, there's a part of me that's like, to a certain degree, I feel like the game's not actually going as hard on this idea as you would. I don't know, because so much of it just felt like it was doing it just as an Etrian. Or it's tragic, and we shouldn't disrespect.
Yeah.
Indeed, I can't bear to think of it. Brings me no pleasure to see, yet 'tis valuable to experience the reality of battle beyond the power of this myth. Oh, Dave, I do want to make a more proper review, or once I finished it. Probably what my plan is I'm going to finish Metaphor. I'm going to make my reviewing every game I played in 2024 video. And then after that, followed up with a more proper turn the gain up. How's that? But then once I do the every game in 2024 video, then I'll probably do a Metaphor Refantasio is an Atlas game, or something more of a proper, like, actual genuine review. And then I want to make a point. I'm gonna have a point mainly about outdoor environments, which, hot take, based on what I've said a little bit earlier, a little dated. Also, another thing is that this is a podcast mic, and the thing with what I've been told about this mic is that you need to kind of have it close to your mouth in a lot of cases. So it might just be, while I'm still getting used to it, I'm just moving too far away from where it can pick me up. But at least, like, looking at my audio mixer, it seems fine. But regardless, I'm still experimenting. I'm still getting used to it. We're just gonna have to see how it goes, you know? Yufa's great, by the way. I love her.
All right.
Is there a special voice line? Ooh, I'll have to go for that.
Hey.
Your face has gone blue. There's a shadow behind you.
Hey. Well then. That's my fault. Altabury Heights, capital of the Principality of Montario, the eastmost country annexed into the Kingdom of Uchronia. The mountain path leading to the city begins near the coastline, but few gauntlet runners can contend against its steep slope. Those who complete the arduous climb are rewarded. City lights, dusted with snow, twinkle beautifully in the valley. But what awaits the party there is no reward, but their greatest trial thus far.
Also, I really like how there's only 3 American voice actors in the game. Oh, anime.
The seat of sanctism, Altabury. Truly, I never thought I would see it in person. What is that giant structure?
The monolith. In Sanctus Scripture, they tell of how the stone was shaped by God's own hand.
It's afloat. I'd only heard rumors that it didn't touch the ground, but to see it now.
Are we finally moving again?
Just another trip for our songstress.
We're here at last.
Decided to present Luis with Dracodios, Lands of the Dragon God, aboard his gauntlet runner, the Charadrius. I think the commentary... Okay. So far, I think the commentary has been really good. I think the only place where the commentary has really fallen flat has been in certain aspects of the Mustari arc. And that's kind of what I was talking about a little bit earlier, where the Etrian Odyssey stuff kind of overrode some of my issues, or at least my general mood. I felt like, so the whole thing with Mustari is that a lot of that arc is focusing on colonization, other cultures, particularly other religions, but other cultures that are almost like trapped within another bigger group. The Mustari have to basically abide by what Sanctism wants, in a sense. The second they leave their islands, they are in Sanctus territory, and they don't really have much of a choice. And the whole thing is, the church is like, we want you to go out and do a British museum and just steal relics. Steal a bunch of relics. Steal a bunch of these, like, holy relics that to us mean nothing, but to the Mustari is, like, really important. And that's gross. But that's also, like, really interesting. That's a really interesting thing for them to touch on. And not only that, but they also touch on the idea, this is something that is talked about a lot with anthropologists, is at what point, it's about, respect cultures. No culture is inherently better than the other. You don't want to go into a foreign culture and be like, we're better than you. We know what to do. We're going to force your culture to change because that's cultural imperialism. But at what point do you draw the line between that is their culture and that is a human right violation? And it kind of like tries to explore that with the whole sacrifice thing. But I feel like I never really got to know the Mustari culture and truly come to understand just how ingrained this whole sacrifice thing was within their culture. So that by the time that it flips and it goes the other direction, it fell so flat to me because it happens almost instantly, and I feel like I didn't get to learn why is this a big deal. They said it like once, but I didn't get to see how big of a deal this was. I feel like I don't really know the Mustari culture as well. And it's really disappointing because I was actually really excited to learn about their culture based off of how in-depth the culture everywhere else in the kingdom is. It's so good. It's just like, I liked what they were trying to do, but it just fell flat because it was so rushed and they didn't really explore it that well, you know? Exactly. It's like it criticizes the culture. It's trying to both explore it, respect it, and criticize it. But it's so rushed that all you really end up seeing is the criticism. And it just didn't end up working for me. But then all the Etrian Odyssey stuff happens, and I was like, oh! So hell yeah. Hell yeah. I got it. Saved it. It saved the arc for me. But if I hadn't played Etrian Odyssey and I didn't realize it was Etrian Odyssey, it would still have probably been either the weakest or the second weakest. I thought Brilhaven was weak. Not because it was bad, but because just compared to Martyra and the capital, it just kind of felt like not a lot happened. It just wasn't that interesting comparatively. It's not that it had interesting ideas and it failed on those. It's that it just didn't feel like it had anything in the first place, if you get my meaning. Anyway, let's hand out the lance.
Well done. So this is the Lance of Legend, is it?
I am called Euphrasia, priestess of the island. For personal reasons, I have joined them on their journey.
You do not detest me?
I owe my life to them, and I understand they operate under your guidance.
Indeed. I had heard you were able to obtain the lance without incurring the islanders' hatred. Quite a feat, now that I know it to be true. Well done. At last, it seems that even fate has abandoned Fortin. Thanks to you, I was spared the effort of sifting through ashes to find this. If the islanders could not be persuaded, my next course...
Oh, you motherfucker!
...village to the ground. The Caradrius's batteries would make that a fairly simple task.
What?
You motherfucker!
Why are you surprised? At times, sacrifice is necessary to save the many. Was that not the exact reasoning by which your countrymen would have seen you die?
You're...
Have the lance brought to my chamber later. Thank you for your hard work in spite of your wound. Take care of yourselves. Now we need only to wait until tomorrow for the Saints' Day festival.
The whole event will be held over 2 days at the Opera House.
The first day is the eve of the festival, and I'm scheduled to sing. Hope you're looking forward to it.
Main festivities start on the second day. That's when all these divine relics will be dedicated and sealed. It's aimed at proving beyond a doubt that sanctism is the highest authority.
All kind of daft though, isn't it? If they were that confident in their scriptures, You'd think they wouldn't have to bother with all that.
This is where Forden dies. He and Sanctism itself. At the very least, it's worth giving him a memorable end.
Lord Louis, I do hope you'll come and watch me sing this time. We missed you at the opening ceremony. If you're not there, it'll hardly be worth it.
You needn't worry. Having come all this way, it would be a waste not to show.
Well, I'm off to check out the Opera House. Want to make sure everything's shipshape for my solo, of course. The rest is up to you.
You have all performed admirably. You exceeded my every expectation. Soon, Forden's reign will come crashing down. From this point onward, I would have you forfeit the competition and dedicate yourself fully to my campaign.
Understood.
For now, rest your wings a while. Tomorrow's festivities will be a grand show indeed.
It seems the land's passed muster. Eurus is a peerless craftsman, if not else.
AJ, it's 100% because of that. He's the villain throughout the whole game. Whereas most Persona villains, yeah. You don't actually realize they're villains, or you're not even really dealing with them until it's too late, until it's the end. This time, you know from like the beginning, he's the villain. Not only that, but almost like in exchange, a lot of the smaller villains, like from like the moment to moment, the smaller villains, not great. Not great. I haven't cared for him, really. I thought the Necromancer wasn't great. I thought he was kind of like, you just kind of showed up. Who the hell are you? What's her name in Martyra? You know what? No, correction. She was really good. She was really good. But that's 1 out of 3. And then Glodell in Brylehaven. Fine. He was fine. I didn't really care one way or the other for him. But yeah, I Luis benefits because he is like all throughout. All throughout. And you know from the beginning, and that's what makes him so effective. Exactly. Glodell is fine. He's fine.
Yufa, are you okay?
He would have destroyed my home. How could he suggest such carnage with not a shade of guilt? I was sure that deep down, all people are inherently good at heart. Now, you made it sound like you were bound to kill him at any cost. And now I understand why.
I see. Then let's get back on track and go find ourselves an inn. You've got more supporters now. I dare say we'll find better lodging than we could before.
I wouldn't be so sure. This city's in the palm of Forden's hand, and we're the ones who humiliated him during the exhibition.
All the same, we're about to do something big. To be honest, I'll take anywhere, so long as I can stretch out.
Let's just stay in the Gauntlet Runner.
As a last resort, maybe, but it might do us some good to see the city itself. Do a bit of scouting for our plans. Let's call the runner our fallback plan.
Then why don't we look for an inn run by a Mustari?
I thought this city was the seat of the church.
In times before the church, it said many diverse faiths and teachings took root in this city. That's why Montario is the only mainland nation that trades with the islands.
Glodell was fine, but that was like half the point. The point is that he was fine. And I did like the parallels between him and you, where you are both effectively trying to do the exact same thing. The difference is he is just utterly unimpressive and has to turn to like dirty means, whereas you are much more like you're much better. You're like a better person. You actually have genuine ideals, and as a result, that's what gets you there. That's what gets you to the top, not underhanded means. Underhanded, selfish means.
Indeed.
But past that, he was just
Grandfather
fine.
often said that until his generation, the only prominent building of the Sanctus Church was that opera house. Though the prevailing story now, of course, is that Sanctism reclaimed this land from malevolent pagans.
Either way, I'm certain there should be quite a few Mustari who feign conversion and live in seclusion.
If one of these Mustarians really exists, it may work in our favor. Let's look for it.
I thought she said Mustarian. Like a Christian. Mustarian. But no, it's Mustari Inn. Is Mustari owned inn we seek? Then I know of one in the center of town. 'Tis called Skyward Tavern. I recall it being rather pleasant, with very little that would point to its Mustari roots.
Certainly.
It was on Diafranco Street, if I'm not mistaken. So cold. At least Hulkenberg is in her element. Can we get going before we freeze, though?
Well met, eh?
That reminds me. Oh, don't worry. I've gotten skills for her class. Don't worry. Anyway. Oh, my controller's about to die. I wanted to check trophy I just got. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Traveled a significant distance by blade riding. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Oh, wow. Just spam the button. Just spam the button. Anyway, yeah, no unnecessary waifus. None of the weird waifu dating stuff. It just makes everyone feel a lot more genuine. It just makes everything in general feel a lot more genuine and less wish fulfillment-y. I want the mag broker.
All right then.
I just kind of want to explore for a minute, but I get the feeling it's going to force me down a specific... Yep. Yep. Yep.
Proper aces. Hang on. That's the one from the exhibition.
I kind of wish your sword that you rode. I kind of wish that would change with to whatever sword you had equipped at the moment. That'd be cool. Hell yeah, man. You should have been playing Megaten when you were a baby. Newborn. Your first word should have been Jack Frost.
Elden rubbish.
Hey, mister.
Down here. Okay, so the magic shop is here.
King. I just want some coin.
What would you like?
Oh, also, here is my current follower count. Clear those out. I saw I saw this video earlier. It was labeled Death Baby Hears for the first time. And it did thing where I guess it had like a little earpiece or something in, but it's just kind of sitting there, fat neck baby, being all like a baby, and then the guy goes, "Hi," and then he goes, "Duh." It's like, oh, Did you get scared? And then the baby just screams at the top of his lungs in horror. And I keep thinking about that video. It's so funny. It's so perfectly comedically timed. Babies are fucking stupid and I love it. I could beat up a baby if I wanted. I'm better than them.
Greetings.
Definitely could use some charms. Anti-charm. Yeah! Yeah, no, that's one of my famous quotes. One of my iconic quotes. I could beat up a baby if I wanted.
Get yourself a...
Ah, got another one. There we go. Really need to get more money. Moss Caliber. That reminds me. So right now I have the hero, I have Will as a cleric, but it was just because I wanted to, I'm like right there at the end, so I could just do this. Hey! Samarakarm. Ooh, okay. And now I can switch him. What do I want him as? Oh, let's just go back to Magic Seeker.
Freedom of a wanderer.
Exactly. And I'm gonna be
Sounds like a lovely
flying on my first plane ride in over a decade. I think since high school. In less than a month. And I really hope there's not gonna be a stupid freaking baby. At least the flight's only gonna be like an hour and a half. But yeah, I can't wait.
Get yourself...
I should really wait until I have more money.
Really now?
Whatever.
Aha. Hang on.
Hey, mister!
My money's on Santa Fe's fort.
Elder rubbish.
My money's on Santa Fe's fort. Damned Louis. Hold tight the crown. You there.
Hang on.
We get that free mag.
Let's see.
Okay, so they say that like throughout the game, it's like, oh, it's changed. The rock is changing. Is it actually changing at all?
Pardon?
Because it sure as hell doesn't look like it's gonna be there. It doesn't look like there's any change. It just looks like the same thing the whole time. It is changing.
Oh my. What do you want to do?
Ah, thanks for follow. I still need to update those. I need to update the Stream Elements stuff. Also, Stream Elements, thank you for subscribing.
My sincere... Beg pardon?
Yeah, amazing.
All right then. Amazing.
And I bet this would look a lot better in daytime. Maybe I should just push ahead to the today.
Amazing. Now what am I to do?
Side dungeons! Honestly, they are kind of what I expected. They're not great, but they're good enough for me, where I'm like, I'm satisfied exploring them. They're not the most complex, but it's like, yeah, that was fair. That was fair. I'm not in love with them, but I don't hate them.
Welcome. Wait.
A band of youths with a knife.
Are you
Oh!
perhaps the Wait. Welcome. Wait. A band of youths with a knight and a huge chief. Are you perhaps the candidate who brought Joanna the Sanctoress to confess?
One glance and you knew. Listen, we just...
I don't care if you did the deed or not, but please take your business elsewhere. I'm sorry, but I have my own reputation to think about.
You follow Sanctism's teachings?
You? A Mustari who wears no mask?
I'm Euphausia. I'm the priestess of Verga. No, of Edria.
The priestess? Impossible. The island priestess would never leave the village behind.
I have my reasons, but I wish to see the outside world that I might better protect our island. I have no proof, but...
You would raise another tribe to the throne.
'Tis a longer story than we've time to tell. We only wish to avoid a tyrant's reign. Yet 'tis not from our own ambition that I speak so. The throne belongs to one truly worthy.
She's on an Etrian odyssey. Ha 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 ha.
It's just... You look so like the priestess before you, I can't just turn you away. Fine. You can stay here, as long as you don't make trouble for me.
Thank you. I suppose it is easier to understand each other without the masks in the way.
Not all of us mainland Mustari hate the Sanctus Church. We'd rather preserve the peace we have. And, well, it's a sorry excuse for an innkeep who turns away travelers.
Thank you. We're in your debt.
Ah, look, they've got food and booze here too. And it's so much cooler. Which means fewer bugs.
It's still roach infested.
It seems they have an imitation of the island spring here. We can bathe. I should invite Juno when she's back.
Please no.
Bathe? You'd be mad to hope a hot spring replica could take the edge off this chill.
Cold or not, there's nothing more refreshing than bathing. Would you care to
Please,
join us?
please no. Please no.
I should think not. For reasons too numerous to count.
Why?
Anyway, strategy meeting. Let's get on with it.
So we seek to assassinate Louis. A difficult task. But you look to have an idea. Let's have it.
First, the when. Under normal circumstances, we'd want to get him on the move. Maybe walking through a crowd while he's got less guards. That would be the plan. But unfortunately, that'd only work if he was someone with common sense. Someone without combat ability. Or someone who'd want to avoid collateral damage. And that isn't Louis. Worst case, he'd use his civilians as shields while more of his personal guard catch up. And things go sideways before we can get it done.
But once he's inside the Opera House, he'll have a security detail at his beck and call. Even if we can sneak in, getting to him.
If we can't target him in transit, and we've practically zero chance of getting close to him,
That leaves us with only one option.
We join his personal guard ourselves?
I considered that, but it might be tricky. We can't guarantee he'd allow it, and besides...
The real lance is overflowing with Macca. It would be a dangerous gamble to keep it on hand. That sort of power is easily noticed.
Attack from a distance?
We attack from a distance.
Exactly.
A bow
Yeah!
isn't gonna do much good, right? It needs to be the lance.
Throw the lance at him.
So, what if we threw the lance? Pierced him through from a distance? Yufa, as the priestess, you can command the lance to return to you if it's far away, right?
You would have me use that power in reverse to cast it out instead.
According to Juna, the ceiling of the Opera House has a chandelier big enough to support a person. From above, we'll target Louis in the royal box seats.
That's a good drawing.
Realize the entire audience is below that lighting? A stunt like that would get us noticed instantly. Wait, are you suggesting we do this during the show?
Louis would be distracted. It's the best opportunity we could ask for. Besides, with Yufa there, we can even recover the lance easily.
Hold a moment. I would need to launch it like an arrow. Such distance and such speed would require incredible focus. I don't think I could do it while aiming.
Then just concentrate on the sheer mental force of it. Someone else can take over the role of actually throwing.
This gambit is sounding more far-fetched by the moment. But we also can't afford to wait for another opportunity.
There is no other opportunity. Luis intends to kill Forden during the festival. That means if we do nothing, the fake will be exposed, and so will we.
Indeed. Once our betrayal is made plain, we will never find a way to draw close to him again. This will likely be our first and last opportunity.
But who's actually going to do the throwing?
I'd rather leave it to you.
Of course, me.
With the royal magic protecting you, it's less likely that we'll fail this, even with interference. And besides, laugh, if you like. I know it sounds silly, but I really do believe you have the power to change fate itself.
Indeed. Everyone here knows that firsthand.
I feel the same. If I can trust you to do it, then I should be able to do my part as well.
Will you do it, Captain?
All right. I'll do it.
Thanks. We owe you. On the day of, Juna will be at the venue ahead of us. We'll have her open the service entrance, and we'll infiltrate from there.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I want you to lure Luis's guards outside and cause a commotion while he's making the throw. I'm sure the Magnus brothers will be guarding the place too. Hulkenberg and I will secure the exit route in advance. Luis is a formidable foe. But we've overcome plenty of obstacles. Let's believe in the strength that got us this far. We can do this.
Don't worry about it.
No, there's a lot weighing on your mind right now, but let's just try to get some rest and prepare for tomorrow. Get colder at night, so try not to get sick. I bet I can't even go out. Yeah. What the fuck was that? What was that? Okay. What you doing?